screw. I have the glue already applied. The bamboo flute is turned around, so this is the back of the flute where I'm going to have the tie. I'm going to wind it just however many times I feel is necessary. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's take that, and I take a length of twine, maybe length of my forearm, and I'll cut that with the wire cutters. The wire cutters allow me to cut with one hand, where with a razor knife it's difficult. So now I have this thumb is clamping that there. I'll take the remainder and I'll make one more loop, and I'll feed that loop through. I'll just leave that there. I'll take a stick and I'll adjust exactly where I want this binding. I want it close to the node. Nodes have a lot more of the bamboo, and the swelling and quick drying of bamboo is what tends to crack the bamboo. It's not a dry flute or a wet flute. It's a big change in between. And I want this nylon twine wet with this glue. And the reason is because nylon, when it's wet, it expands. It'll get longer. When it's dry, it'll contract or get shorter. So as it contracts, it'll actually tighten and clamp down that that binding. It'll tighten onto that bamboo. And I take the stick, I wrap it around here, so I have something to pull on, and I pull that. And this twine can be pulled pretty darn strong, stronger than just about anything else, stronger than fishing line, stronger than regular string. And so then I'm going to let that sit there, add a little bit more glue there with my other hand, do some final little adjustments. Looks pretty good. Let's take a look at that while it's there. And if that's good enough for me, then I'll take the wire cutters, cut a section like that. So now that's the back of it. I don't use the common technique called whipping. This is a much, much, much stronger technique, as well as it's glued down as well. But I'm still not done with it. I'm going to take a wet rag. I'm going to wipe away the excess glue. The next step is I'm going to take a little bit of non-toxic high gloss lacquer that I keep in this little inkwell here. Keeps it very handy. And an old jelly jar with some water and some paintbrushes. I'll dip that, dry that onto that. And this lacquer, it's non-toxic. It's basically a lot of this stuff is what you're going to see in crafts for kids. It's very non-toxic. It's safe for kids, safe for pets. No, you don't have to worry about allergic reactions or anything like that. So I'll dip a little bit of the lacquer there, and then I will coat the binding with lacquer. Now this adds an additional level of locking down this binding. The binding is clamped, it's tied off to this screw so that it's tied extremely tight. Then on top of that there's glue underneath the lacquer, underneath the binding, and then there's lacquer on top of the binding. So right there where I put that extra loop, it's glued underneath and it's lacquered on top. You can see I got a little bit of lacquer right there. I can literally just take my finger and wipe that off, or this stamp rag. Now it's gone. Something that's dangerous to do with oil-based lacquer or toxic lacquer, particularly traditional Japanese urushi. It can be either hazardous to your health if you're allergic to urushi, or its cousin, the poison ivy, poison oak, or to your customer.